first thing I want to do is to thank each of you for coming and to welcome you to the People's Church Heart for Souls, our very first dedication service. So thank you all for coming. We're going to start with lighting the candles, and I'm going to ask John Woodmore to come up and to light the candles, which signifies the mind, body, and spirit. And I can't see it all. You'll have to tell me if we're all here. I am definitely not quite that tall. Thank you very much. If everyone would like to please stand and join me for an opening prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for the blessings of this amazing and beautiful day. Thank you for the hearts and souls who've all chosen to join together as one. To be here, be open, be willing, and be a part of building this new future. Heavenly Father, we pray for you to send your healing energies and love and light into this space so that it can manifest itself 1,000 times beyond the walls. We ask this in your precious name. Amen. You can go ahead and be seated. We're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to go forward with a sanctuary blessing and holy book message. And so I am going to invite Reverend Don Zangi of Casadena Spiritualist Camp. He's an ordained minister, certified medium, permitted teacher, certified healer, certified evaluator, former vice president, former president of the Board of Trustees, director of the Lyceum, former chairperson of Education Committee, former chairperson of the Certification Committee, former associate pastor of the Colby Memorial Temple, and we are really excited that he's not former and he's here. Come on up!
I think in all 18 chapters there should be plenty in there. So I'll take a few moments and read from there. This is Krishna talking to Arjuna. Krishna, of course, would be the God aspect of Arjuna. And Arjuna represents everybody and everything. Every man, as we say. I exist in all creatures. So the disciplined man, devoted to me, grasps the oneness of life. Wherever he is in me. My nature has 8 aspects: earth, water, fire, wind, space, mind, understanding, and individuality. This is my lower nature. Know my higher nature too, the life force that sustains this universe. Of strong men, I am strength, without the emotion of desire. In creatures, I am the desire that does not impede sacred duty. The whole universe is pervaded by my unmanifested form. All creatures exist in me. as I recount for you in essence the divine powers of myself. Endless is my extent. This would sound a lot like I'm the Alpha and the Omega for some people. I am the self-abiding in the heart of all creatures. In their beginning, I am their beginning, their middle, and their end. And it goes on from there longer than I have time to explain. If the light of 1,000 suns were to rise in the sky at once, it would be the light of that great spirit. Arjuna saw all the universe in as many ways and parts, standing as one in the body of the God of gods. Arjuna gave an initiation to Krishna, and he saw what there was to see, hear what there is to hear, and know what there is to know. Arjuna speaks. I see the gods in your body, O God, and hordes of varied creatures. Brahma, the cosmic creator, on his lotus throne, and all the seers and celestial serpents, the wise ones. I see your boundless form everywhere, the countless arms, bellies, mouths, and eyes. Lord of all, I see no end, nor middle, or beginning, or totality. As I said, it goes on and on. One can find these various explanations in so many pieces of sacred texts, sacred literature, holy books. The essence of religion, with a small r, is the oneness of all. The opportunity to join that here today is beautiful, beautiful. Let's face it, it's gorgeous. Facility is truly an honor for me to be here. Truly a wonderful thing that you're creating. And I wish everyone well. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into the prayer portion of the service, and that's the prayer for healing. And I want to go ahead and explain a couple of things about the room. Most of you walked by over in this particular area, and there is a triangle there from John of God. Most of you, anybody who knows me, knows that I've been, and I'm absolutely a sister of the Casa. And so much healing energy and grace comes through that avenue. So we have a triangle that actually was carried from Abhijina. And so then there's little squares that you can go ahead and put your prayer wishes on. And then what we're going to do for our healing is we're going to, on the very back of your music hymnal, there's 2 different prayers. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to say together the prayer of Cardias. And then directly after that, we've got different healing chairs, which are outlined in gold, and we've got different healers, which will be inviting over there, actually healers in the back. And we will do a guided meditation after we do the prayer. And so the way it works is whenever you hear this, that means that a healing chair is available, and you can go ahead and help yourself over there. So please go ahead and read with me on the back the prayer of Cardias. This is the prayer which is said every time before John of God incorporates. God, our Father, who has the power and the goodness, give strength to those who suffer from addiction. Give light to those who seek the truth. Put compassion and charity into the hearts of mankind. God, give the traveler a guiding star, consolation to the anxious and rest to the sick. Father, give repentance to the guilty, truth to the spirit, a guide for the children, and a father to the orphans. Lord, may your goodness blanket everything you created. Mercy, Lord, to those who know you not. Hope to those who suffer. May your goodness allow soul spirits to spread peace, hope, and faith all over. God, a ray of light, a spark of your love can inflame the earth. gratitude and love. Like Moses on the mountain, we await you with open arms. O power, O goodness, O perfection, and we want somehow to achieve your mercy. God, give us strength to help our process, enabling us to rise up to you. Give us pure charity, give us faith and reason, give us the humbleness that will make our souls appear to reflect your image. Amen. Amen. So if everyone wants to sit comfortably, and we're going to start for CD. Yep, thank you. Take a deep breath in, close your eyes, and just get comfortable. This is your time to relax. Inhale and exhale. With every inhale, you're allowing God's love and light to pour into you. With every exhale, you're allowing anything that's not of the highest and the best to just filtrate through and down and out the bottoms of your feet. Feel the relaxation just traveling down and out the bottoms of your feet. Your calves are relaxed, your knees are relaxed, and all energies gently flow down and out the bottoms of your feet. Your hips and thighs are relaxed, gently flowing. Your chest area, your arms, your shoulders, and hands. Your spine, one vertebrae at a time. Just relaxed. Your whole body is at peace and at rest. You feel the love and the comfort that surrounds you and brings you to this peaceful space. Bring your attention higher to the top of your head, to the crown chakra, and open it as if a lotus flower is unfolding. As you do so, golden shimmering light showering down and into your head. It's vibrating, it's pulsing, tingling, it's filling you with love, peace, and grace. Every cell is being transformed, transmuted to highest and best of who and what you are and what it can possibly be. This golden energy flows down through all your chakra centers, one at a time. Your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart chakra, sacral, inner chakras. Any excess energy continues to flow down and out the bottoms of your feet, and your physical body is being completely and totally transformed and healed, one cell at a time. Again, as you bring your attention higher and higher to the top of your head, your spiritual body will now take flight and travel up a crystal staircase one at a time. Continue upward, one by one. And And as you look ahead, you see a rainbow that's glistening upon the different crystal stairs, illuminating different colors, the red, the orange, the yellow, the green, the blue, and the lavender. You continue up to the very top of the crystal staircase, where again the golden light still continues to shimmer through you and fill you, but you're traveling as you're one with. You feel the call within the center of self that's carrying you forth. As you continue, you're flying now. There's a bank of white clouds below you, and above, brilliant clear sky. The air is crisp, the sun is warm, and you're feeling the pulsing of your heartbeat pulling you closer and closer to a brilliant crystal light that's pulsing off in the distance. You continue to fly effortlessly across the sky. The exuberance and the heart pounding with excitement as it calls you forward. You get closer and closer, and the brilliant light is a crystal palace that's called you in. You walk to the front stairs, and there's large double doors, arched that open as you enter up the staircase. There, within the center of the dome room, is a crystal throne, and there upon the throne is the God source. Come, my child, as you have come to see me, come and sit upon my lap. Oh, I have waited joyously for you to join me upon this day. Ah, my brilliant child, you are glowing with love, with peace and grace and purity of who you are. Welcome to this new world, this new year, and this new amazing space as brother and as one. Ah, my child, I have waited long for this day to come, and I stand here with you, celebrating all that is coming to be, child. I know there are worries upon your heart. Give them to me, child. I will take care of them for you. My child, do not let sorrows of your heart hold you down, but to lift you up into new opportunities, new learning, new experiences, and the newness of all that is waiting for you. You, my child, are the only one who's holding you back. The world is open for you too. Oh, blessings, dear child. Blessings to you. Feel this hug of love that I shower upon and in you. I gift you with pure healing grace and perfection of all that you choose to do is waiting for you too. Go forth, my child, and be the brilliant light that you are. Blessings to you. The great Father sets you down upon the chair. Your whole body is pulsing and illuminating with the love and the peace and the grace you've been gifted. You head back you find yourself flying again effortlessly across the sky. Below is water. Again, there's so much that's around you. The mountains are below. The puffy clouds, and again the sunshine. You find yourself going forward until you stand upon the crystal staircase once again, and you start down one step at a time. They are still illuminated by the lovely rainbow upon the steps. Lavender and purple and blue and green, yellow, orange, and red. You now find yourself entering back into the room, back into your body. You feel the chair beneath you. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes and take a deep breath and become fully acclimated to this space and to this place. And open your eyes when you become ready. Welcome back. Stay in this peaceful place for just a moment while the final healing continues. Thank you, Heavenly Father. Thank you. Okay. Welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that journey. Remember, that was a very powerful healing. For 72 hours, allow that healing energy to continue to transmute everything that's within your physical, spiritual self. Drink a lot of water to be able to continue to flush out those energies that come through. Well, the next portion of our service is our inspirational lecture, and today I'm very excited and delighted to introduce our guest speaker, which is Dr. Kaz Mirza of Chad Center. During my training at the Florida hospital, I was shocked that most doctors were unhealthy, unhappy, and lifelessly prescribing refill after refill, tests and surgeries. It became very clear that your management as a patient was very limited. Your chances of spending quality time with your doctor even more rare. I had to make a better way, so that's why my father and I created Chad Center. He had heart disease and wanted to know a natural approach to treatments. Lifestyle has everything to do with most of us living long, healthy lives. Chad Center is more than a gym. We're a holistic health center that have a solid core of health practitioners under one roof. We deliver powerful results for people who want to transform their lives. And he wants to invite all of us to learn more. So please help me welcome Dr. Kaz.
Morning. How does that sound? Good. All right. Nice crowd today. You know, I got to tell you, this setup, it reminds me in the year 2000, I was fortunate, blessed, and grateful to travel to South America in a country called Bolivia. And we were up high, it's high altitude, not a lot of, not nearly the type of plant life and growth that we have here in poverty-stricken country. But they have three things in Bolivia that they hold on to very dearly. It's God, family, and football. They call it football, soccer. But Sunday, when we went to church, the room looked exactly like this, and it was just something special was happening there. I didn't understand a word of it, but something special is happening. It just reminds me of this setup that we have here. To be honest, when we got this property about a year ago, I didn't envision this area as a church. I envisioned it as a holistic, health center, and this was the restaurant. So the building was designed when LPGA was here. Does everybody know this area a little bit? If you don't know this area, raise your hand. So LPGA, it's like the Ladies Professional Golf Association, used to be just around the corner. You could literally drive a golf cart to the golf course there. And LPGA started out there, and this was the clubhouse, the country club where people would come, eat, drink, tell jokes after they played golf. So anyway, this was there was a commercial kitchen attached here, and this was the dining area. So I always thought in my head, this is going to be a dining area, because that's what it was. But then I met Judy, and if anybody's capable to get this going and continue on as a church, I know Judy is. She explained to me where y'all were before, and there were stairs and water leaks, and not an ideal situation. So I'm happy for you that this is working, and I can see it really working. From a healing standpoint, from a medical standpoint, there's a great book by Deepak Chopra called Spontaneous Remissions, where he talks about stage 4 cancer patients going through chemo and radiation therapies, which is standard procedures in the medical world for cancer. And chemo, radiation, and surgery, those are really your only options. But Deepak Chopra, his background, like mine, is Indian. He's well steeped in Ayurveda, in natural medicine, in spiritual uplifting belief. And he saw these stage 4 cancer patients, it's called spontaneous remission, when you go from a stage of cancer and it can't be found anymore after that. Something happens, but it can't be explained by science, by medicine, by modern technology either. It's gone. And so he believes, as well as I believe, and Judy, and I'm sure you all believe, that there's a spiritual aspect of healing that is a core part of health and wellness, which can't be ignored. We live in America, we live in a society today in the modern world where it's a very litigious society. People are quick to sue everybody, particularly in the medical industry, and that may be part of the reason why the insurance companies have dictated the way we practice. And that's a large reason why I'm here, maybe part of the reason why you're here, is to go back to those foundational roots of spirituality, of wellness in its purest form, which is more powerful in some for some people and for some diagnoses than even modern medicine can begin to explain. Cancer, stage 4 cancer, spontaneous remissions is one example. But coming back to my point about this being a litigious society, I feel like the church belongs here, especially the way that Judy and you all approach spirituality has a foundational place here at this center because because of the nature of your approach. However, there is a clear delineation that this is the People's Church and Chad Center. We have offices on the other side. After church, Judy and I believe is going to do a tour, so you can see the whole place for yourself. But there's a clear delineation only because of the society that we live in. The practitioners, like myself, the chiropractor, massage therapist, the exercise physiologist, the yoga instructor, they're all clearly delineated and independent and separate from the church. And but I'm so glad, I'm happy, my heart is warm that you all are here, because it has a place, and I appreciate the approach. Now, as you walk around, you'll see it's definitely a work in progress, but we all are, and I think the space is always going to be a work in progress, even when it's 10 years down the road. But we got the property about a year ago, and you wouldn't believe what it looked like when I got it. It was a brown building, so we painted the whole thing. There was 5 to 10 major roof leaks throughout the entire length building, so it was like it was raining inside. And everywhere you looked, there was one poor repair job after another. So it was a process to get it where it is now. It's not, I know it's not perfect, but you know, we're heading that way. The idea, though, is that we're ready to open as a holistic health center and, of course, the People's Church. But what I can offer for you all, being that you're local, is that we have a number of programs that are health steeped, and I like to think are approached in a way which is well thought out and, at the very least, all-encompassing. So the core program for people who live locally, it's a 6-week Jumpstart Challenge. And we have that option. Another option we have is a weekend retreat. We're fortunate enough to be near the hotel. We're very accessible, and my idea is to have people come in for the weekend, and that will include church services for people who come in from a little further, like Orlando and further out, maybe Jacksonville, and people who hear about us and want to come in for an immersion. I think that just from what I've seen in the first hour, this experience in and of itself is very immersive, healing, and you know, with the guided meditation and with Judy leading things, I think this in and of itself is very healing. But if somebody was to come in for a weekend immersion, it would include all the food. Like I said, we have the commercial kitchen, so everything would be prepared in the healthiest, plant-based way possible, and we do, it would be an all-immersive experience. And I'd like to talk to anybody more who may be interested in that, but again, our core principles are movement. Number one, movement, because at a very cellular level, if you can't move, it stinks. You can't move, so you end up feeling sluggish, lazy, you gain weight. Movement at its core is at a very cellular level is a basic principle of life. So movement, we help facilitate movement through chiropractic adjustment, through exercise at all levels. We have an excellent exercise physiologist who can work with people at whether they've had hip replacements or knee replacements. It's almost like it can go from 0 to 100. I mean, it's people with very limited range of motion to the CrossFit type of power lifter people. So it's very agile in the sense that we can work with pretty much anybody from a movement standpoint. So I wanted to make sure that we have everything covered. So the chiropractic care, the exercise physiology, that covers the movement aspect. And then we have nutrition. Nutrition, I believe, is another core foundational aspect of health. And it's done poorly, which most Americans, you'll probably know the statistics, 1/3 of Americans are obese, over half are overweight and obese. So it's clearly an epidemic, and the problem is it's the food. And that's where my heart is, because rather than prescribing medicine, I'd rather primarily take a dietary approach. That's what my father was seeking, as he was battling heart disease. He kept asking his doctors. He would go to specialized cardiologists, like the electrophysiologists who were studying, at a very advanced level of cardiology. He'd say, and these guys are supposed to be, best of the best. And he'd ask them, he'd say, just a very simple question: is there any dietary approach that I could take for my condition? And it was like, these brilliant doctors are looking back at him, dumbfounded, have no clue, just no clue. So I made that part of my mission, to study nutrition and understand that food is medicine. In fact, Hippocrates, who was he was Greek, he wrote the Hippocratic Oath, which states that do no harm, and that is what our Western medical practice of medicine is based off of. First, do no harm. Hippocrates was the same man who said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." So that being said, I went on a journey to study nutrition, and so that approach is research based here. Everything we do here in terms of nutrition is based on those guidelines of research. And I'm not just talking about small samples of studies. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of people who have, there are studies that have compared statin drugs for high cholesterol versus a whole food plant-based diet, and the results are what dictate how we operate here, what I teach people here, and the food that's prepared here. We have a chef who's on board. We'll be preparing smoothies, as well as cakes and pies that are done in a plant-based way with no oils, and just amazing ways, techniques that I don't even know that the chef knows. But we're going to work together and teach people how to create delicious food in the healthiest, most nutritional way possible. So that covers nutrition. Then we've got stress management. You've got stress, I've got stress, everybody's got stress. But the key is how we deal with stress, right? There's a cardiologist that wrote a book about stress and heart disease, and he wrote the entire book, and the whole gist, the whole premise of the book was that stress causes heart disease. And I don't think that we all know that's not the one and only cause, but it's a risk factor, and more importantly, it's a modifiable risk factor. It's one that we can have some say over, because a lot of it's up here. So we have like Judy does guided meditation. We have a yoga and meditation instructor who does flexibility, breathing, guided meditation, and so that covers some of the stress management part. We also have a licensed massage therapist who will help you work out some of that stress. Some people think massage is a luxury. I don't agree with that necessarily. I think there's deep healing aspects to massage therapy apart from the physical. Of course, if you have musculoskeletal issues, if you have circulation issues, and of course stress relief as well. So that kind of covers the stress aspect, is the guided meditation, yoga, and the massage therapy. And last but not least, I think is arguably most important, and I probably should have started with first, but save the best for last, is the mindset. As I mentioned, a lot of things. The only thing that I think we can control is up here. Everything else, what everybody else does, it's just not even worth. I just feel sorry for the baby. But everything else that happens out there, it's really, it's not something that we should really expend too much energy on, because the only thing that we can really control is what goes on between our ears. So the mindset is really probably the foundation of everything else that we do. And I think Judy taps in on that here as well. That oneness of all, and that the interconnectedness, and where our place is in the universe. So the mindset aspect. We have a therapist who does group talks, and we also have, if you're part of our community, we want you to stay a part of our community. So we not only offer support while you're here at the center, but we'll have support while you go home as well. It sounds kind of new agey, maybe to some of you all, but it's pretty powerful. The online aspect of maintaining community when people go back to their homes, so that they can have support, they can get questions answered, they can connect to other people with like-minded motivations and aspirations. So we have that part as well, just for support, for accountability, for maintaining that community connectedness. So that's how we approach medicine here. I mean, I can't even call it medicine really. It is medicine in the sense that it's healing. But along with what Judy does, it's a different approach to medicine. I've taken a different path because, as she said in my introduction, I was studying, when I was doing my internship at Florida Hospital, I'm looking at, these doctors and how they prescribe, and I think that the very robotic nature of, when I'm sitting there in my internship, I'm watching these, studying, learning, emulating these physicians, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I could do that. I could do primary care, and then probably, branch off and do something else. But when I watch how they operate, it was just lifeless. It was robotic. Most of the physicians that I encountered were very unhappy deeply in their core and unhealthy. So that was, and some people like to call it an oxymoron. I mean, how are you going to have a doctor who's not healthy and machine-like and doesn't give you time, doesn't maintain eye contact with you, doesn't listen, most importantly, just doesn't take the time to listen to their patient. So that's kind of when something started happening, when I started learning and seeing how these other prominent doctors, very successful, I mean in the material sense, very successful. But as we know, part of the reason why we're here is that there's more to life than the material sense. And so that's where things started to, just get a little rocky for me. And that's why I took this approach. And I'm going ahead with it. I'm pretty much all in. So I hope you're all here and here for the long term. Support Judy. Keep coming, tell your friends, and we will. My promise is that we'll continue to go down this path. There's no turning back. I mean, I'll turn away people who want to do drugs, surgeries, and radiation and things like that before I change the nature of the center. That'll just never happen. So at its core, those are the principles. That's the direction it's going. It's natural. And although I'm an MD, I don't get into the refill business. I don't get into the insurance business. Hope to never get into the litigation business either. But you can bet that if you keep coming a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, we'll be bigger and better. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kaz. That was wonderful. And I think that we're going to have a little song. So thank you very much, Leonard.
Malachi,